Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up because we've got to talk about the craziest Marvel leak I've ever reported on.
Are you serious?
This one's a doozy. We might finally have an answer as for who bought Avengers Tower, and I gotta be honest with you, I didn't see that coming. So we gotta break down the new report, talk about it, just how freaking crazy it is. And then using the powers of being a gigantic freaking nerd, I wanna speculate on how this could frankly change a lot when it comes to the Multiverse saga and Secret Wars. Smash a freaking like on this video and let's begin. Okay, so this comes from Alex Perez and the Cosmic Circus. They have very reliable sources, but I also want to add that things are changing over at Marvel Studios, so take this with a giant grain of salt. I mean, it's a rumor for now, and I also think many things might be changing, but this actually might be something that is a change from the original plan with Jonathan Majors and Kang and everything like that, but we'll get into that in just a second. Okay, so this is an article titled Exclusive Avengers Tower and Mephisto's Role in Ironheart. They talk about how Jon Favreau talked about how Tony had sold Avengers Tower in Spider-Man Homecoming. This is when the Avengers are moving to an upstate New York facility, and they are also taking a lot of stuff over to Damage Control. Now, it says in the article, the selling of Avengers Tower, while so significant to the climax to Spider-Man Homecoming, has been a plot point that has been left hanging since the film came out 6 years ago. Why has there been so much secrecy about who purchased it? Many have speculated that the mysterious benefactor from Ant-Man and the Wasp is the one behind the seedy underworld that is building in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as the purchaser of Avengers Tower from Tony Stark. Thankfully, we've been given clearance from the Department of Damage Control to speak on the issue. Our sources can exclusively confirm that Mephisto was in fact the mysterious benefactor that purchased Avengers Tower from Tony Stark in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Hey, yo, what the?
As of right now, we can't confirm if Tony knew he was making a deal with, or if he did, why he made a deal with someone like Mephisto. Although Mephisto's reason for wanting Avengers Tower lines up with what we already know about Ironheart. Mephisto's fascination with technology is certainly intriguing. It fits the narrative of the magic verse technology story that Kevin Feige has alluded to in previous discussions of the show. Earlier today, Twitter scooper, Can We Get Some Toes, mentioned that the Hood is stealing tech for Mephisto in Ironheart. The question is, why? With another insider, My Time to Shine Hello, adding Mephisto in his human form owns a tech company. Still, no one has elaborated on why Mephisto is seeking out technology. However, his role in the Ironheart, as well as the purchase of Avengers Towers, works well with Ironheart, who is the spiritual continuation of the Iron Man series. Now, they go on in this article to talk about how they've heard that in the Ironheart show, Mephisto's going to play a major role, but for most of the show, he's just going to be in humanoid form with a nice suit on. And apparently, Ironheart will take a lot of inspiration from Fox's Lucifer show as far as the depiction of Mephisto. And although they don't talk about it in this article, it's heavily rumored that Sacha Baron Cohen has been hired to play Mephisto in the MCU. So frickin' Mephisto, the devil of Marvel, is literally the guy that bought Avengers Tower. That is absolutely freaking nuts. And the first place my mind goes to after learning of this is, wow, so it wasn't a Kang variant that had bought Avengers Tower. For a long time, we had speculated that it would be a version of Kang, perhaps even Mr. Griffin, a relatively new variant of Kang the Conqueror from Marvel Comics, who had bought Avengers Tower. You even see Quang Industries in the Loki show written on Avengers Tower. And with Kang and all the different variants of Kang messing with the multiverse, it just seemed the logical next step to make Mr. Griffin, or maybe Victor Timely, the person that purchased Avengers Tower from Tony Stark. And the fact that that's not the way it's going to go in the MCU is absolutely freaking crazy. Is this perhaps a thing that Marvel is changing to go away from their dependence on the Kang character? Of course, Jonathan Majors is embroiled in a big court case and a large controversy with the public over an alleged assault. And we've also recently heard that Marvel Studios literally changed their plans to have the whole multiversal saga rest on the shoulders of Jonathan Majors, and this was after they saw his performance. So essentially, Marvel didn't have a full idea for how to get to Secret Wars until they saw Jonathan Majors perform, and they were like, yo, let's make this guy Kang. We'll put every Kang all over the multiverse. Kang will be the new Infinity Stone. Kang over here, Kang over there, and Kang will be the Beyonder and take over for Secret Wars. Well, now that Marvel may have to consider recasting Jonathan Majors, perhaps they can't just have Kang be such a big deal in the multiversal saga. This could take some of that weight off of the new actor that would play Kang and give us this dope character Mephisto. It is interesting that this is a plot thread that's been hanging around for 6+ years, and it's just going to end up being Mephisto, a character that actually first came on a lot of scoopers and insiders' radar when it came to the WandaVision show. I know that that's when the memes started and everybody was just looking for Mephisto all over that freaking show, but that actually did come from some reliable people. It's very likely that at some stage of development for WandaVision, Marvel was going to include Mephisto. Now, the next thing that I'm really curious about, and I'm sure you're curious about as well, is like, why does Mephisto even want technology? And I'm sure this is the question of the Ironheart show, and perhaps a big question that'll be toyed with Mephisto throughout different projects moving forward. But I personally have had a big theory about how the multiverse is all put together that essentially suggests that magic and technology are really the same thing, and that at a very, very high level of technology, they are tapping into aspects of the multiverse that are very similar to the way that high-level sorcery or magic users tap into the multiverse. And different things like the 10 rings from Shang-Chi and even the Eternals and the Celestials in general seem to really combine technology and magic. I mean, the Celestials appear to be cosmic-powered technological creatures, but they also can create an Eternal in Cersei that can actually do magic. But again, it's like, why would Mephisto give a shit about any of that? I mean, this dude is incredibly powerful just as the devil, demon, dark lord that he is. Could it be that Mephisto is aware of something going on in the multiverse, and does he fear the collapsing of the multiverse or incursions? Is it possible that an incursion destroying the 616 universe would mean the destruction of the demonic realm that Mephisto comes from? Is Mephisto, just like Kang, acting in a way that actually will have multiversal ramifications? And my mind kind of goes to the recent Avengers comics and some really crazy multiversal ideas that Marvel has been playing with. The Heroes Reborn storyline ended up being an alternate reality that Mephisto himself had manifested. Mephisto goes on to join a multiversal group of villains and even have his own Council of Red with a ton of different Mephistos from all throughout the multiverse working together. And then there's this weird tweet talking about Damnation, a more recent story with Doctor Strange and Mephisto, where Mephisto takes over Las Vegas. Pretty crazy stuff. And this was retweeted by Lizzie Hill, who owns the Cosmic Circus and also has access to really good sources. And this could lead to some really interesting things like the Midnight Suns being formed to take over Mephisto. But I also can't help but think of the story that Doctor Strange himself is supposed to play this massive role in the multiverse, and it might end up coming down to Kang versus Doctor Strange for the fate of the entire multiverse. I think Stephen Strange is obviously being set up to have a massive role in whatever happens next and in the lead up to Avengers Secret Wars. That is what Multiverse of Madness is about. So with Mephisto buying Avengers Tower, looking for technology, being in the current setting on the Earthbound MCU 616, I can't help but wonder if that's going to have anything to do with Doctor Strange 3 and perhaps something going on with those two characters that leads into the multiverse. And it's just such a cool freaking idea. I keep thinking, man, this is quite an awesome plot thread that I think could serve to take a little bit of the focus away from Kang and all of the drama with Jonathan Majors. This could be huge. Now, another thing that I can't stop thinking about ever since hearing this report is Kingpin, and the fact that Kingpin is running for the mayor of New York City and is likely going to win and be the mayor of New York, which came from the Devil's Reign comic book story. I mean, again, I just can't help but think, is this some Mephisto shenanigans going on? Is Wilson Fisk being aided by Mephisto? Did he make a deal with the devil to get that power in New York City? Or is Mephisto just trying to put villainous characters into positions of power just to mess with the heroes of Marvel? Maybe even the Red Hulk being the president of the United States and all the crazy dark stuff that's coming for the Earthbound heroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Maybe that's all freaking Mephisto. And I think Sacha Baron Cohen is an underrated performer. I think this dude has incredible talent and he could do some wild things acting with these other great actors that are in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I hope that this isn't just some thing to add value to the Ironheart show and to get the fans talking about the potential. I hope that the plan for Mephisto is well thought out, has something really important to do with the multiversal saga, and I hope that this character has a big role to play in Secret Wars and maybe even beyond it. Let me know what you're thinking about this in the comment section below. Smash a like on this video. We'll throw up another video if you want to watch more. And as I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.